After day one of the Flow Hackathon, let me just show you what progress. So we've got this kind of cool UI mapped out. It actually doesn't do anything at all. These buttons don't do anything. I have got a little bit of the drag stuff happening, so you can drag these things around. The idea is that you drag this card into this glowy area here and you release, and then it converts into this, which will be your character that can attack and etc. So that's pretty well the only bit of UI that's working. Of course, these cards need trimming down and all this sort of stuff, right? But this is all kind of placeholder. What I have got, which is kind of cool, which let me see if I can show you. So what I wanted to do was make it very easy to play test, changing all the stats on these cards and things. And so I've got this Airtable. Airtable makes it pretty easy to actually feed up this information via an API. So I can, put in the stats for the ball here, and then I've got it doesn't actually go through to the cards yet. That's what I'm going to work on today, but I do have, if I click on database here and clear that, if I right click and just do test, you can see that it pulls down the information from the Airtable. You can see it popping in here in the debug. So that's going to be pretty cool to hook up. That means that another team member, Anna, can add extra stuff to this table and play around with the stats and do a whole load of play testing, hopefully. And I might actually add the images, the URLs for the images with the background and without the background here. And then she can upload new images and things like that, and basically just add new characters to the game. So it's going to be pretty powerful, I think. So that's the idea there. Day two, I guess, getting all this drag and drop stuff to work properly, and maybe starting on some of the game mechanics. We'll see, I guess. So this is what Anna was working on. She's doing an amazing job sorting out all the media needed in the project. So we had all these backgrounds, and of course we chose that particular one, and then she started working on all the different minions and their tiers and their abilities, etc., and organizing all that. So really useful work. Basically the game design of the project, and of course, yeah, the heroes as well. Right, day two. So we have, coming down from our Airtable, a whole lot of data, which I'll show in a sec. And now we have all these cards coming down. And if I click and hold, you can see this is the Marsh Howler. And what we can do is if we hover over one of these spots, they highlight. And then if we release, it turns into this kind of monster that sits there. And we can do this with all the other cards. So the idea is that you get your cards in your hand, then you play the cards, and then that monster that's on the card appears in the game, which I think that was quite nice. I've seen some games where it's a little bit confusing. They look the same, what's in your hand and what's on the battlefield. So I think that's quite cool. So this kind of click and hold is kind of working, although there's sorting errors and things that all needs fixing. And also, of course, we've got some display issues on the cards because some of these monsters are quite bigger than others, so we need to figure out a fix for that. Hopefully we'll get that fix in at some point, but I guess it's not the end of the world. Seeing as this is kind of a prototype, and then of course you can actually move these monsters around like so. It doesn't do anything clever yet, like if you try and move them onto the same one, that's kind of not great. So need to add some logic there, but this, the shop screen, the first screen where you place all your monsters, that's coming together quite nicely. So hopefully today I will start fixing some of these sorting issues, maybe fix some of these drag and drop issues, but I do really need to get on to the battle screen and start prototyping that up as well. So some of these not really niceties, they do need to be fixed, but some of these things will have to be left until the last minute, I think, because we definitely need the game up and running. And yeah, that's it for end of day 2, and now we're going into day 3. Ooh, I didn't show you the Airtable data. So this is what Anna's been working on, which is pretty awesome. So we've got a whole load of monsters in here, 16 so far, tier 1s, tier 2s and tier 3s. We have attack and health, and we even have different abilities depending on the level of the creatures. And as you can see on the end here, it's also got the images. Now, bringing down the images for the characters and the cards, so the character image is transparent background, what you see on the battlefield, and this is the monster image with a background on it. So that's the bit that goes on the card. That's why there's 2 images. May get cleverer with that, who knows. But yes, the code to bring these images down was crashing Unity. It looks like the very latest version of Unity rekindles an old bug where their preferred method of bringing images down just dies. So I had to go back to an earlier version of Unity, so that wasted a bit of time trying to fix that, so that's kind of annoying, but yeah, that's what it's like developing, usually dancing around other people's bugs, not just your own. So this is Anna's work on the Figma file. We're big fans of Figma. It's a great design tool, and Anna put together the UI, a few little iterations and trying out different things. It's a whole process, so it's quite interesting to see the things that we tried. We didn't like Destroy, it seemed a little bit too heavy-handed. Okay, after day 3 of the Flow Hackathon, I'm working on the battle screen now. So as you can see, our first 2 fighters are bopping up and down in anticipation. And if we hit this button here, then they whack together, they amend their health, and they go on to the next 2 guys. And then if I do that, then these 2 whack into each other, and then finally these 2 will fight off, but the boar should win. So let's do that. Bang. And
As you can see here, it says you lose, meaning the player loses because the right side of the screen is the enemy. So that's kind of vaguely working. Of course, the animations are somewhat lackluster, so that needs sorting. This screen needs to feel cool and nice and poppy. So that's going to be a fair bit of work. And then, of course, I've got to implement the abilities as well. So that's going to be today, I reckon. It's going to take the whole of the day to get all that sorted. And I'm hoping then that the battle system will be mostly done by the end of the day. But I'm sure there'll be a few things outstanding, but I want to get the bulk of it done.
So Anna here's showing other assets we used in the game, the manosphere, the stars. We went with sacrifice in the end, a little bit less drastic than burning. And that was the battle screen. Still working on the battle system, but if we hit the button now, yeah, this is the kind of poppiness I was talking about. It needs to just feel a little bit more dynamic than it was doing, which I think we're kind of there. Certainly for an MVP, I think it's good enough. We get a little bit of a screen shake. We get some particle effects, these stars that go off when they clash, and also we have the first part of the abilities. The actual boar dying created another boar. We'll probably change that because that just looks a little bit confusing. So I think it should create something that's not a boar. So we'll sort that out. But let's do this again and just show you those animations again. So this is a 1-1 versus a 1-1. They should both kill each other. So bang, get some stars. They fly off the screen now. You get a bit of a screen shake. So I feel that feels a lot nicer. Now we'll see that if we kill this 2-2 boar, it will get replaced with a 1-1 boar for the moment. So we have the sort of on minion death. We're not calling it death. We're calling it something else. But when the minion dies, then it basically can summon something else. So let's just see that this 2-2 going to a 1-1 boar. So we go bang, flies off, and then we have a resurrected kind of 1-1 boar. Like I say, it probably won't be a boar; it'll be something different. And which is quite interesting, right? So by implementing that, we actually have a draw now. So when these two hit, they both die, and this would be a draw scenario. So still quite a lot to do. We have the sort of game over or battle over screen to say whether you've won, lost or drawn. That all needs to be done. So still this is going to be a busy day today, and because I really do need to start implementing the blockchain features, and it looks like I'll just only have one day to do that really. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the battle system. I feel I can get it finished today with a lot of work, and I'm actually pretty pleased with how the particle effects and screen shake and all that sort of made it feel a lot nicer. So yeah, pretty pleased with the progress, but still a lot to do. So these are the game over screens. So they vary obviously depending on whether you've won or lost or drawn. I really like these, they're very cool. Thought the draw was good with the dice. And of course Anna then worked on the main menu, the very first screen that you see when you go into the game. And also you unlock and mint a hero actually the first time you play the game. So Anna put together a screen for that as well. We never managed to get the hats in. We will obviously be adding that soon after the hackathon.
So that's going to be fun.
After day 5 of the Flow Hackathon, we now have, once this is loaded up, a shop that when we click draw, we spend our mana and we get some more cards. And so this is a random set of 3 tier 1 cards. And we can place these now in these slots here, and then we can hit battle, and this feeds through to our battle screen. And as you saw there, our spider randomly hit one of our opponents and killed them. So some of the abilities are now working, and we can carry on, and at that point we win. So I've still got to well, let's show you that I've implemented some of Anna's amazing UI changes to the shop screen. So this is looking really nice now. We just need to bring this battle button into the second screen, and we need a battle over screen as well. So still lots to do, but yes, good progress in day 5. And today I will be finishing off these UI elements and the battle over screen, and then start working on the blockchain stuff.
So Anna here is showing her process that she went through for producing the logo, and I think we really liked the one we chose in the end. Again, that's kind of a process you have to go through to kind of figure out what you want to do. And then these are the hats. These are very cool. That of course Anna went on to Niftory and uploaded all these and turned them into NFTs. I didn't have to do any of that, which was pretty amazing. And these are the backgrounds and heroes we used as well. So here Anna's showing the backstory she came up with for the game, riffing of course on the name Flow, since it was a Flow Hackathon. It's got to be done, right? And I think she used a bit of a name generator here to come up with some of these names. I think they're pretty cool. And you know, obviously Flow is the source of mana. It's a pretty cool story. I love it. It was required to come up with a deck for the hackathon, so Anna put a lot of hard work into this, and I think it's a beautiful deck. She's obviously got a lot of experiences putting decks together for startups, and really shows here. Really knocked it out of the park, and of course she's very proud of that last little bit where we're characters in the game. Kind of funny. Anna's showing the video storyboard, because of course we needed a video for the hackathon, and of course put together some screens for that. So she's just showing kind of the process of doing that. And here Anna's in DaVinci Resolve, which is a video editor that we both really like because it's free. But it's amazing. It's an amazing piece of software. And yeah, we were both up till 6 in the morning the last day of the hackathon, because of course all this last minute stuff takes the time, and it's definitely worth putting the effort in. And yeah, it was a very cool video. I think it showed off the game nicely. It obviously kind of put in some tooltips to kind of explain what's going on a bit. And yeah, it shows the game off in the best light, I feel. So cool little video. And the last bit sort of shows the shop and a little bit of the process of uploading those images to Niftory.
Let me now show you what we ended up submitting to the Flow Hackathon. And I'll go through it in the editor, but there is an Android build live on the Google Play Store as a beta, and I'll have a link to that in the YouTube description. So this is our main screen. We've got a play button and a shop button. Let me just click on play. The first time you play the game, you unlock a hero, and you just need to click to get rid of that. And then we're on to the pre-battle screen. Kind of don't really want to call it shop because it's a bit confusing because we've got a shop. But anyway, I have to think about what we're going to call this. But and then you can drag the creatures onto the battlefield like this, and then you click battle, and the spider went and killed something, and then these clash. We get our hermit come up, and that's a draw. So like I was saying, we managed to get some abilities in, just a couple really, but at least we got some in. And like when the boar dies, its owner comes looking. So the hermit arrives and wants to revenge the killing of its pet. So that's the kind of idea there. And the spider has an ability that when it first enters the battlefield, it does damage to a random enemy. So those are in. And then when you come back out to this pre-battle screen, you can now spend more mana to add more creatures. And say you don't like these ones, you can click draw, so you can get something else. Maybe I want the bug out. The drag, I didn't get all the niceties in really for this, but it now won't let you stack like it was. So, you have to move them around like that. Obviously, it'd be good if when you do that, it swaps the other one out to the other slot. So that'll be something we will add. You can now sacrifice. So if I want to get some money back, say I want to sacrifice the frog, I can do that, and then I will get some mana back. That's all working. Obviously, the game wants to be multiplayer eventually. That's not implemented. We just kind of have some set battles that you go against. So, it was a little bit much to try and get all that in for such a short hackathon. And then let me just show you the shop. So when we go into the shop, it actually, it's pretty amazing, really. Actually, when you go in, it checks to see if you have a wallet. If you don't have a wallet, it creates a Flow wallet when you go in. And I've got some sort of debug stuff here showing it sort of going in the background, polling. It's kind of doing some long polling. I'll probably try and improve this. There'll be cleverer ways of doing this, but there eventually it's managed to create a wallet, and then it's, we've minted this dwarven healer, so that's actually in the wallet as an NFT, and then you have other items that you can purchase. Now, I think some of these items, and I need to improve the UI, of course, but I think some of these items are actually, because this has been somewhat public for a few days, some people have minted out some of these items, so I need to sort of put, unavailable, sold out on here. So that's a UI change I think I'll try and get in today. But let me just see if one of this works. So if I click on Icy Mountain, then it will go away and it will mint that, and then it ticks it and goes away and refreshes. And that's actually, you've actually now got the Icy Mountains NFT. So these are all actually put up on a website called Niftory, and has basically created all these as NFTs on their site, and I'm using their API to query to see the state of these NFTs in this particular wallet. It's all really clever stuff, actually. I love the Niftory API. It's a GraphQL API. It works very nicely in Unity, and I'm quite happy to go through some of this code and some of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, because it's pretty powerful stuff, and it's pretty cool. Next level stuff, I reckon. And so that's roughly it, really, for the submission. So we've got the game working, we've got the shop working, we've got some NFTs minting. It's been a real hectic few days, and really enjoyed the process. I'd really appreciate it if you would vote for a submission. So I've got a link in the YouTube description, and if you follow that link, then you can, it's a site called DevFolio. So if you follow that link, you will need to sign up to DevFolio, but it'd be really appreciated if you could go and give us a like there. Top right corner, there's a heart. Just click on that, and try and get us to number one. That would be pretty awesome. I think I'm really proud of what me and Anna have achieved here, and Anna's put in an awful lot of hard work, and I think it shows, and we'd really like to carry this project through to fruition. Get it on mainnet. This is all on testnet at the moment, Flow testnet. There's obviously quite a bit of work to get it onto mainnet and get it multiplayer, and all the encouragement from people voting and everything will really give us a push to get all that done. That'd be fantastic. Thank you very much.